What's up, everybody? I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. This is another one of our Lessons from Beyond the Grave, where we take a look at a clip from my stream where I died, and we break it down and figure out what we can pull from that, what we can learn, and how we can do better next time. I'm a huge proponent that giving yourself the ability to watch some of your own gameplay back helps you become a better player, because it helps you actually figure out what happened instead of making assumptions and then not really knowing how to change or do something different in the future. I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you like the video, think about dropping it a like or subscribing for more content like this. YouTube will probably continue to show you my videos if you like them, even if you don't subscribe, but subscribing helps me out a ton. So thank you so much to those that do that. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So like always, what we'll do is we'll just watch the clip back in its entirety, and then we will kind of go back and we'll break down everything that happened. The context here is I'm doing with a buddy. We're going shoreline. He needs PMC kills for a quest. So we're just trying to kind of get into some action. And this is kind of what happened after that. So let's take a look at the clip.
Up to 2. Yep, 2 or 3. Behind me. I went up to 2. He was to the right. So he was upstairs or right there.
Definitely more than one.
Nice.
What? So that was a bit of a rough death, as they all are. A lot happened there, and that fight could have gone a bunch of different ways, and we did some things well there, and then we did some things not so well. So, you know, like we said, he's got this quest to kill PMCs, so he kind of goes up first. We hear these guys, we know they're there. You can hear us making the call as we're moving upstairs. Hey, there's 2, there's multiple, there might even be 3. We did not hear the guy behind us in the closet. As soon as, from my perspective, so this is kind of like the first thing that I could have done better. From my perspective, it looked like he pushed and checked the angle and got shot. Now, context clues, the wall right here gets lit up. Now, he called that he died behind him, but even at this point, I had no idea that he died behind him. The audio just didn't give it away for me. I just hadn't, because that was such a surprise to me that there were guys actually, there was at least one already behind him. We knew we had heard movement over here on this side. That's just what I was expecting. I was only expecting that. So the fact that this guy was behind him, my brain just didn't want to recognize that until he said something. But we definitely could have figured that out on our own because of how these shots landed on this wall. And then you can tell he actually hadn't peeked it yet, because all this blood was on his wall. He hadn't even peeked the angle yet, but he called behind, so I went for the push. Now, this is an interesting push that I find myself in all the time. We were actually just talking about this after another clip on stream, where I find myself getting into close quarters engagements where me and the enemy that I know is there are both pushing at the same time. And then we get into these really awkward fights where we're both kind of wiggling around. What saved me here was he was trying to pull a nade. He knew that there was one more downstairs, and by the time he saw me right here, he had already hit G and was pulling that grenade out, which helped me a ton because I was able to link that up and get that kill. But this push it gets me a lot. I want to go all the way. And when I watch guys that are really, really proficient at the game, they'll I think what I should have done is right here stopped and ADS'd. I was just kind of holding W. My thought was I'm going to go all the way into the room. I guess I didn't really have like a game plan here. So I was just like, I know there's a guy there. I'm just going to go find him. But I think the better play, even if, you know what I mean, this guy didn't, expose himself right here, would have been to hold this angle, because I know that behind me I'm covered because there's a little bit of wall there. And I could have just ADS'd right here and been like, oh, there he is, and eliminated him. But I was just kind of holding W. I went for the point fire, and luckily he went and pulled the grenade. So giving your enemy the opportunity to figure out, or giving yourself the opportunity to figure out what the enemy's going to do. I see a lot of like the top guys that I play or that I watch do that a lot, that they're constantly stopping and ADSing. They'll move a little bit, and it gives them the opportunity to at least either gather information via audio, or if their enemy does peek out, they can go for that kill. So at this point, I know that there's multiple because we heard these guys over here, and I was able to eliminate the guy that eliminated my friend. So I get in here and to reload, a grenade explodes, so I would have died if I had stayed out there. I'm going to throw a grenade. Right here, I see one. I don't see more than one, but I do see one person. He's on the move. And because I see him, I kind of pull my aim a little low. If I had been able to clear that grenade over here or in this hallway, that would have been much better. I probably wouldn't have killed him because they would have had time to get into one of these rooms, but it wasn't a great nade, but I just wanted to kind of get out of there. Now, this is the next part where I could have done something way better. And I don't know if you experience this, but I do all the time, where I turn, I ADS, I know there's guys there, and I'm kind of looking everywhere and not any specific place. Like this frame that I've dropped on, I am ADS on this guy's head, and it actually takes me a minute to see him because there's so much of the scene. Like at this point, at least subconsciously, I'm thinking that there could have been a guy peeking over this. There could be a guy in any one of these rooms. I don't know. I just threw a nade, so I don't know if he's already taken the time to re-peek. Maybe I'm looking down the hall to see if anybody peeks out. There's this room, there's this room, there's this room, and I'm overexposed here. I think I even did a Beyond the Grave about this, of like overextending my angle. I am too far out in the middle of the hallway, and I'm not really looking at any one specific thing. I'm trying to look at everything. And because of that, it took me an extra second, half a second maybe, to realize that I was ADS'd on this guy. And so I shoot him. I don't think I killed him here. I think he got away. I think I thoraxed him a little bit. He took out my arm and almost my stomach, and I kind of pushed back downstairs. So I think in this part of this fight, it's holding tighter angles. You know what I mean? Like I could have stood right where I am right now and checked down here, and then held a much tighter angle around this corner and been much more aware, give myself that extra a few milliseconds even, to be much more aware of what I'm aiming on, like where my reticle is, and is there a person here? Because I could have turned right here and just snapped on that guy and killed him. One bullet right here, and that guy's dead. I don't believe he had a face shield. It looked like he had like a U-lock or something on. I would have been able to eliminate him. So that is definitely something, holding that tighter angle and just being aware of where your reticle is. After that, I bail on the fight. Obviously, I need to hit a reload. There's grenades being thrown. And at this point, this is kind of where the meat of it is. This is where I think the biggest part of this is learning how to hold angles and how to hold corners. This is such an interesting thing in Tarkov. There's a lot of desync in Tarkov. There can be a lot of ping differences, and there's a million things to blame or a million excuses as to why like really aggressive plays like this are hard. But in this instance, I knew he was moving. I wanted to get some audio. I heard him sprinting, and my thought process, once again, no matter what ping this guy has, what ping I have, no matter how much peeker's advantage or desync, there's a million things to blame. But no matter how you slice it, on this particular engagement, I could have been doing things better here. So we'll watch just this last part again where I toss the nade, and listen carefully for the audio, because that's what I was using to figure out and determine what I wanted to do here. So I knew that he was coming. I'd thrown the nade. I'd kind of flushed him out a little bit, and I knew he was coming and making the push. So first of all, I'm aiming way too low, and I'm not ADS. So close quarters, sometimes ADS can be hard because if you don't eliminate them, you're tracking all over the place. So the point fire wasn't necessarily a terrible idea, but if I could have backed up down the stairs a little bit and ADS'd and then given myself an escape plan. If I was back down the stairs, I would have had an angle on his corner, and if he peeked it and I missed him, I would have been able to just run downstairs. So I didn't have an escape plan, really. I was up on top of the stairs. One of us is going to die. I'm aiming low. as soon as he does come, I do start shooting. My first shot hits right here. So if I had shot him, I would have hit him in the thorax anyway. And I was assuming that as he was sprinting, that gives me the extra time because he's got his gun lowered because he's sprinting. But this guy comes right around the corner, was able to stop, line up his gun, and connect a headshot. What feels like he hits me in the thorax, but probably what happened, I don't remember if it was head eyes or not, but probably what happened here is he moved the thorax, and then the recoil brought it up, and he hit me in the face. He was able to take me down super fast. And when we talk about holding an angle or holding a corner or how to play around corners, it's hard because the disadvantage I have here is that maybe everybody's brain, I don't know, but my brain at least has a really hard time predicting exactly how fast he's going to be moving around the corner. And the milliseconds or two that of reaction time for me, he's already kind of in action mode. And I'm trying to, like, my first shot is to the left. You can see I'm trying to react to his movements. I'm trying to follow his movements. So my first shot hits to the left of him. My second shot hits to the left of him. Then I start hitting him. I'm aiming too low. He doesn't have a face shield. One face shot would have done it. I'm actually, I think, maybe one step lower, which is actually pulling my head closer to center of mass height, which is the most common place people get hit, which isn't a good idea. And I go for a point fire and I hit a few shots on him. I was super surprised in that clip because, once again, I thought I had the advantage by knowing he was going to be coming around that corner soon. But by having to react to his movement and the fact that he, you know what I mean? I could have been anywhere. I think he just hit a really good shot. I mean, you can tell his gun is aimed way higher than mine. He's aiming at my head and gets, maybe it's either lucky or maybe there was a little bit of desync, and on his screen, he maybe had an extra millisecond. But once again, no matter how you slice it, I could have put myself in a better position here. I could have been farther down the stairs, or the other thing I wanted to talk about is I could have peeked the corner, because once again, if he's in a sprint, I could have used the same aggression he used against me against him. I'm hearing him moving a lot. And I know that, once again, I can use the stairs as an escape plan if I peek this corner and engage with him. Because if he's in a full sprint at me and I peek it and shoot at him, he's either going to die or he's going to stop sprinting and try to raise his gun to shoot me. So I can halt his movement, therefore giving me a little bit of an escape plan, because that might give me the time to get downstairs if I need to. Or I can use that same aggression, that same thing where I'm saying he runs around the corner and I'm trying to track him. I'm trying to keep up with him. I could have done the same thing by me pushing that corner or even holding it really tightly and just getting him running at me. So there was definitely a few ways I could have done it. You don't always have to chat it out. We could have fallen back a little bit down the stairs, giving myself an escape plan, waiting to hit the shot and then bailing, or we could have done the aggressive route of pushing him as well. But kind of what I did and what I often do is play the middle ground, where I'm not playing ultra safe, I'm not playing ultra aggressive, and I'm just kind of waiting for something to happen, hoping my reaction speed is fast enough. And in this case, it wasn't. He comes around the corner, he lands some nice shots on me that I kind of wasn't prepared for, and he takes me down. So that's about it. You know, I don't ever want it to come across like I'm too overthinking these things. It's just Tarkov. Sometimes you're just going to die. Sometimes you're going to do all the right things and you're going to die. But this helps me almost be less mad about these deaths, because it helps me figure out that there are things I could do better. If I can pull my aim a little higher and aim more for the head as opposed to center of mass with my point fire, if I can understand that aggression isn't always the risky play, but aggression might have been a little bit safer here because he was sprinting, his gun was down, it would have given me one or two shots to see if I could have eliminated him. Or it just teaches me about holding safer angles, giving myself an escape plan, all these things that you're not thinking about. There's a lot of head knowledge. We know what to do, but you're trying to get your knowledge to come faster than your instinct and your reactions. And my instinct was to just kind of turtle up there and just wait for something to happen. And he played the aggressive card and won that fight. So I hope that this helped. I hope that these videos help. I hope that they help break down situations or scenarios that maybe you get into often as well, and help provide some context and provide a little bit of maybe strategies that you haven't thought of that you can try to implement. So I hope this helps, and I hope that somehow this helps you win some more fights in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. If you like it, please give it that thumbs up or subscribe for more content like this. I'm always trying to create content to help shorten the learning curve of Tarkov and get you and your raids having fun as soon as possible. Like we said before, I do stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by. And then we also have an awesome Discord community. If you're looking for people to run raids with, ask questions, get help with quests, or anything like that, we've got new players to Tarkov. We've got Tarkov veterans. It's an awesome community. It's an awesome place to be. That link will be down below as well. Thank you again so much for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.